Search and destroy. All right, folks. What is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless one of the man, Lincoln Clay, coming back at you with a live stream of Alvo. The moment is finally here. After a major setback that the devs had a while back, they were able to get things rolling again, and the moment is finally here. This game has been in beta, and it has a number of bigger YouTubers have played this game, and this is my first time playing this game, and I'm still very excited to be playing this game. I have not played this game yet. This is my very first time going in. I just got done downloading this game on both my PS5, but right now I am on my PS4 Pro. I have elected to play this on my PS4 Pro so I would be able to stream it and see the chats and respond to comments in the chat, as the PS5 does not seem to let you stream current PSVR games. I don't know why that is, but what I plan to do is go ahead and stream it tonight from the PS4 Pro, and then tomorrow or the next day I will play it from my PS5 and let you guys know if there's any difference between the two consoles. But right now we are going to go in and see what we got, and I'll give you guys my thoughts as we go. So free for all, I'll probably get murdered, but I can. No, we're gonna do team deathmatch. They already got a leaderboard. Look at that. Somebody already got 2,400 kills. Wow. You can set up 4 loadouts on the main menu prior to joining a match. So the file for this game was not near as big as I thought it would be. Oh, I'm gonna have to go in and adjust the settings. So from what I'm seeing right here, it definitely runs smooth. And one huge question right now seems to have been answered, and I do not see any noticeable drift. Ah! Smooth turning. Yes, we want smooth turning. I mean, of course you can kill me while I'm adjusting, but that's okay. That's okay. There we go. Look at that. Steady as a rock. No drift. I see a slight, it's a slight float. But for the most part, no drift. That's what I'm talking about right there. What? Oh! Great Tantrum was good. I can tell you right now, there's almost no drift in this game. I'm holding right here, and for the most part, it's steady. There was a couple of times where there was like maybe a slight tad where, you know, it might have floated a little bit, but for the most part, it's steady. In the case of Firewall, it would actually turn like this, and the drift would be so bad that you really can't try to pick the gun up and try to aim down the sights. Basically, you just trying to fire from the hips and just get off whatever shots you can. But because there's virtually no drift with this controller, I've been actually able to pick it up and look down the sights and actually aim at my target instead of just, you know, kind of blind firing from the hip. Oh, BMW. BMW. Yeah, good tracking. No! So yes, there is a progression system on here. How's the image quality? Oh, you know what? Um, Give me a second. Give me a second. You know what? I'm going back out of this. I'm going back out of this match. and then I'll come and talk to you about like the. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave match. Okay, graphics, like image quality, graphics, all that stuff. The game looks solid. Here's what I think. Honestly speaking, you might make the case that that Firewall might have slightly better graphics. But one thing, this game has two things Firewall does not have. One is there's virtually no drift. So I was literally able to pull this aim controller up and bring it up to my face and aim at the targets. Something you can't do with Firewall, because when you go to pull it up and aim like that, the controller starts drifting and start turning. So that right there, I think the dedicated servers might have made a difference in that, because it had been rumored on Firewall that how much drift you get all depends on the host as well as their connection. In the case of this game, since it's dedicated servers with no host, I'd like to think that plays a part in the drift, because there's virtually no drift in this aim controller, so I can finally use this aim controller the way it was meant to be used. That being said, I have to kind of knock Sony for not giving First Contact. It might be on Sony. I'm led to believe it might be on Sony, but if that's the case, I have to give Sony the thumbs down. The drift also happened with PS5. Yeah, I got a PS5 as well, and I played it earlier today. The drift was there, but it wasn't as bad as it was on the PS4. This right here, I'm playing on the PS4 right now. I'm on my PS4 Pro, and the drift is almost non-existent. So, so unless the devs solved the Rubik's Cube, I'd like to think that the dedicated servers was a huge part of that. The other thing, that I will say that I think is a trade-off. Again, I will admit that you could probably make a case like this map right here. The map right here is cool. Looking around this map, the character model right here, you could probably make a case that Firewall, the graphics are probably a little bit better on the characters, on the playable characters. Yeah, part of Firewall is problems tracking him. As far as I'm concerned, tracking and host migration were the two biggest problems with Firewall. But with this game here, with dedicated servers, that's not an issue. This game runs buttery smooth. And I'm still blown away that I can actually use this aim controller. Instead of firing from way down here, I can actually pull it up here. The other plus that this game has over Firewall is that everything is clear. With a lot of these VR games on PlayStation VR, whatever is directly in front of you, that's the part that's clear, but the background is blurry. And I looked at Firewall today, and on PS5, and I think it looks a little bit better than it does on PS4, but the problem with Firewall is the edges were extremely soft. I mean, everything was so soft that it made me look like it felt like I was looking at something in 480p or 720p. In the case of this game here, everything is clear. You know, I'm not looking around and, you know, there's almost like there's no sweet spot to really look through. Everything is clear. I'm looking around. The entire field of view is clear. So it's not a situation where you look straight ahead and something is clear and then you look up or look down and then the outer edges of it become blurry or anything like that. The entire field of view is clear. Anti-aliasing on Firewall, that I have it turned off? No, I turned it on. Now that's like, in the case of the anti-aliasing on Firewall, it's basically like pick your poison. If you turn the anti-aliasing on, you're still going to get some glittery edges, but you know, it's not. But you're also going to get those soft edges, and it seems like those soft edges is a trade-off of getting rid of some of those glittery edges. But I think if you turn the anti-aliasing off, you know, you get more glittery edges. In the case of this game, I have not dived into the settings to take a look at the anti-aliasing or anything like that, because I mean, everything is clear. I can make out everything. You know, in the case of Firewall, because the game is blurred, everything in the distance, like your enemies, have a red arrow above their head, because on the really dark screens, without that arrow being above their head, you won't be able to see them. In this case, I see everything. You know, it's like I get shot at and I look around, see where the shot's coming from, and I see the enemy, and I responded and killed a few of them. So all right, let's jump into another team deathmatch. How's the game, Lincoln? 1 second. I might have to back out again. The game runs smooth. The aim controller has virtually no drift, which was a huge problem on Firewall. And I was honest in speaking that, you know, you might be able to make the case that Firewall might have been so busy playing AC. Okay, cool. You might. I haven't touched PSVR. Oh, okay, I don't have to spawn yet. I was saying that you might make the case that Firewall might have slight, you know, have a little bit better graphics, but I will say that there's virtually like no blur. The entire field of view through this PSVR headset is clear. You know, with some of these PlayStation VR games, you know, the sweet spot is clear, but everything else around it is blurry. That's not the case with this thing. With this game, I can see everything clearly, even out of the sweet spot. You said the graphics on this look good, better than what? So every now and then, as far as the drift goes, like, it's not 100% gone. There might be a couple of times where it might turn slightly. Oh, then Onward. Onward's got some pretty good graphics. There's no doubt about that. Right there. It's like virtually no drift. It's like steady as a rock right there. Whoops. You said was Onward toned down for Quest? Yeah. No, like, as far as gameplay goes, everything you can do on the PC version, you can do on the Quest version of Quest. On the Quest version, the only difference is the graphics. PC's way more powerful than the Quest, therefore the graphics are much better on PC. But as far as the gameplay goes, it's exactly the same. PC players do not have any kind of advantage over Quest players. And I'm loving this, that there's virtually no drift, because in the case of Firewall, in most cases, people are having to fire the gun from their hip because they don't have time to pull it up, shake the controller to try to straighten it out. You know, with Firewall, you know, you pull it up and try to aim down the sights, you gotta, it starts to turn, it starts to drift, you gotta shake it to straighten it out, and then by the time you do that, you're already dead. It's right now it's like 25% off. So the original price tag is $40, but it's 25% off at the PlayStation Store, so you can get it for $30. And in my opinion, I think being that this game has dedicated servers, and there's virtually no drift from the aim controller, that alone makes it worth it. And you saw in the chat that the devs have long-term plans for this game. They plan on coming out with, you saw that they said it in the chat that they plan on coming out with 4 more maps, and we'll get the first 2 maps within the first couple of weeks. So they're definitely going to build on this game. That being said, even if you think it's not worth the $30 now, it will be. So I would get it. YJ2 there. What's up? PlayStation ain't playing. Oh. Oh, I think I killed one of them with that grenade. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Damn it, my fault, Wanye. Can you repeat that? Because I was too busy trying to shoot at somebody and I missed it. You like the old school deathmatch gaming? No doubt. Oh. Actually, I'm the only one in here. That's cool though. Because that's a whole lot better than the firewall situation. Did I run Blood and Truth on PS5? No. I mean, I have to be honest. Blood and Truth was a great game. I loved it. It was worth the money. I did complete the story. But honestly speaking, I don't see any point in downloading this game to my PS5. Only so I can take a look at the graphics and then delete it. Especially when you got to keep an eye on your data cap. Oh shit. Think we got a minute to go. So after this match, you said these bots don't play, yeah. What did you say? Oh, god damn it. Yeah, the AI is pretty good. All right, we got a trophy. All right, you know what? Let me come out in the lobby. Let me come back to the main screen so I can answer questions. So a couple of you people made comments and questions that I missed, so please retype them in. And so to sum this up in a nutshell, let me see. Feel sorry for Alvo getting hacked. Yeah, that's terrible. I need to return to Firewall myself. I can tell you right now, Wanye Tuda, me going to Firewall is going to be few and far in between. Firewall is a great game, but the problems with that game makes it very hard to stay with it. The tracking issues with the Move controller, you know, you guys have heard me talked about that, how it'll just like turn in midair like that, and that can get you killed because like once it starts to turn, you got to shake it to straighten it out. You know, if you try to pull it up and aim at somebody like that and it starts turning and you shake it to straighten it out, you're dead by then. Because the thing about Firewall is your enemies have red arrows over their heads. So you don't necessarily have to see the enemy. You just have to see the red arrow and you know that's where they're at and you shoot. In the case of this game, there's no enemies over the arrows' heads. So when you're getting shot at, you have to really look for them. But I will say that the game is clear enough that you can see the enemies. This isn't a case where, like a lot of PlayStation VR games, I've said this before, that the sweet spot is clear, but around the outside of the sweet spot is blurry on some of these PlayStation VR games. That's not the case with this game. This game is clear. So I don't know. You know, I don't know what kind of compromises they might have had to make this run right, but it runs smooth. There's like minimal drift on the controller, if any, because it's not blatant the way it was on Firewall. I mean, it's you guys should have seen it where I pulled the controller up a couple of times and it was steady as a rock. It didn't move. Now, don't get me wrong. There was a couple of times when I pulled it up and it was cocked, and when I shook it and straightened it up and pulled it out, it didn't move. So I can live with that. Yeah, drift wall, great tantrum, pretty much. That being said, I can see myself playing this game more than Firewall. I think it's going to take some time to build up a player base on this game, but the beautiful part about it is you'll still be able to play because of the dedicated servers. Sniping New said same. I think because of the dedicated servers and them putting bots in the game, you'll still be able to play. Firewall is also when it works, but damn, facts. Honestly, this game runs good enough on my PlayStation Pro that I probably see myself playing it the majority of the time on the PlayStation Pro for streaming purposes because, again, as I said in my podcast earlier, for whatever reason, the PS5 will not let me stream any PSVR games. I go to hit the share button to stream, and the only thing I can do is take screenshots and video clips. It won't let me. It won't pull up the YouTube page. Damn, Firewall. I was saying earlier that Blood and Truth is. Oh damn, you might have to put that in 2 pieces. How big is the game? The game is only like 6.9 gigs, so not near as big as I thought. But I have to be honest. That probably explains why the graphics might not be as good as Firewall, because like Firewall, when Firewall first launched, downloading this game now, cool H player. When Firewall launched, the file in 90 frames, 90 hertz, Blood and Truth. I mean, that's cool, but all I care about is the game runs smooth and is not janky. 90 frames, 100 frames, 60 frames. As long as it runs smooth, I'm good with it. And this game definitely runs smooth. Now, what I was saying about the file size is this game is almost 7 gigs, whereas Firewall, when Firewall first launched, Firewall, I believe, was 19 gigs. And that probably explains why I think that Firewall might have a little bit better graphics. Now, you know, I don't know if the devs plan on pulling out a paintbrush and touch it up as they go, or if this is a situation where this was the trade-off that we had to get in order to make sure this game ran smoothly. Because the positives that I definitely take from this game is, again, that there's virtually no drift on the aim controller. I can see clearly. I can look around. I can see everything clearly. Nothing's blurry like a lot of other PlayStation games. And when you play games, I'd rather get frame rate and good gameplay. And I think that's what you're going to get from this game. It runs smoothly. Let's try free for all. See if we can find some people. You know what? The other thing to consider is this game is releasing at midnight local time. So, like, over in the UK, they're 5 hours ahead of us. They're probably already asleep. The West Coast is 3 hours behind me. By the time it unlocks over there, I'll be in bed. So, I think tomorrow, as far as playing with live people, tomorrow might be a better situation. So yeah, I'm in here with a bunch of bots. I'm the only live person in here. Tempe in here just went live a few minutes ago. All right. So again, look at this. I'm holding this gun up. It is like steady as a rock. None of this shit like, you know, like Firewall where it's turning like this. It's steady as a rock. I mean, it feels too good to be true that it's that there's no drift. About as good as PC tracking. It's comparable, yeah. I think in the case of PC, I think you like my PC, for instance. I think my PC might be like 2 or 3 times more powerful than the PlayStation Pro. So I don't know. Tracking might come into play there too. So Okay, I did see one issue right there. So I'm probably gonna have to adjust the camera. Because when I aimed upward right there, it seemed to right there. Now I'm getting PSVR game suffer from jittery tracking. Now right here, it is floating right here, but do not read anything into that because I have my camera aimed downwards. So, but aiming straight ahead, I'm good. So I'm probably gonna have to adjust my PlayStation VR camera. And if this controller was drifting like it was in Firewall, there's no way I'd be able to pick these dudes off this quick. Damn it. He said when you when you aim it's in front of you. You go. Headset lose track. But right there, I mean, steady as a rock, no drift. This shit is too good to be true. The headset ain't fights for tracking. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, you're right about that. If the headset and the aim controller, if those lights get in the way of each other, it does make for bad tracking. Wonder, I don't know how you can climb ladders. I'll figure that out. You said I'm not Craig, but is this Mass Effect? Not quite. Oh shit! A drone! What the fuck? What the fuck? Did you guys see that? I hit the A button thinking I was jumping, and a drone flew out and went after a target. Dogs! Holy shit! Get him! Sick him! Sick him! Get him! Get him! Oh, there's the jump button. Get him! Get him! There's no way I would have been able to hit him from way over here with drifting issues. Are the dogs a special ability? Yeah, because I think I got a kill streak. So was the drone. Let me see. Who let the dogs out? Woo, 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 woo. Go. Is that gunplay looks solid? Yeah. All right. I got 25 kills and no deaths. Holy smokes. I mean, I was in there against all bots. But you got to give this game a day or two and give people time to buy it. I mean, it just released a few minutes ago. So you gotta give this game a day or two and give people time to buy it. So I think as far as, hold on, I'm gonna go ahead and come on out because it's, for one, I'm getting hungry, so it's gonna be time to wrap this up here in a minute and get ready for bed. How much does it cost? It retails for $40, but it is, for the next 2 weeks, the game is 25% off, and that means it's $30. And I'm good with that. I mean, you also have to think about how long the devs have worked on this game. They ran into a major roadblock with this game. This game was in development about I want to say about 3 years ago. I mean, they can correct me, but from what I had heard, that they lost funding. You know, the investors pulled out. You know, they got new investors and got funding, and they were able to proceed with this game, and you know, here we are. So like, that drone was pretty slick, even though I did it by accident. That drone flew out there and killed one of the opponents. So I think this game is definitely gonna be much more fun when you're playing in a room full of live people. So I'm in here with a bunch of bots. I think it's definitely gonna be a much better experience tomorrow after some people get their hands on this game. And so if you want me to sum this up in a nutshell, 1 second, folks. Hold on. Okay, so to give you my quick thoughts on the game, as far as what you guys saw here tonight, I'll start with I don't really see it as a negative, but it again, you know, the is there team deathmatch? Yeah, there's team deathmatch, but you're in there with bots. But you know, the bots will be replaced as more live people come in. So bottom line is, if you buy the game tonight, you're probably going to be in there with mostly bots. But I'd like to think by this time tomorrow, you know, you'll be playing with live people, because a lot of people will have had their hands on the game. So based on what I've done tonight, I don't know how people would feel about the graphics. Some people might be okay with the graphics. Some people might want, you know, a little bit better looking graphics. I'm okay with the graphics, especially, which, you know, if the gameplay that we got, how smooth the game runs, and the fact that this controller doesn't drift. If all that came into play, then I'm definitely fine with the graphics. The other thing that some people might be put off by might be the price. I think it's worth $30. After 2 weeks, when it goes back up to, if you want graphics, get PC version. But that's not to say that they won't, pull out the paintbrush and touch up the graphics. I'm not saying that the graphics are terrible. They're not. I'm just being honest and saying that the graphics, you might be able to make a case that the graphics are a little bit better on Firewall, but the aliasing on higher Firewall is like kind of bad. What I'm looking at right here, I don't see any. I don't see any shiny, glittery edges staring at me the way you see on Firewall. So there's another trade-off right there. And I haven't even gone into the settings to see if you can turn anti-aliasing on or off. And I'm not seeing any shiny or glittery edges. So that's another plus right there. I think that one of the things that they did that was smart was putting bots in, because when Space Junkies first launched, it was $40, which a lot of people thought was overpriced, and there was no bots. That game was like dead on arrival. It was like virtually nobody in there. And so Ubisoft made a couple of attempts to try to knock the price down to $15 to try to, get people in there to play the game, but too late. They was already turned off by the $40 price tag, and a lot of people didn't even come back to the game. And then they end up having to make the game a permanent $15, of which, in my opinion, is where it should have been in the first place. That's not to say that that's all the game is worth. It's just that, $40 is the gray area for a lot of people with VR. Some people, might cringe at a $40 price tag a little bit, depending on the game. In the case of this game, you're streaming this tomorrow? Yes. Because I assumed that at this time tomorrow, there's going to be live people in here. Being that the game just unlocked, and the devs had already gave us the heads up that there's probably not going to be that many people in here. I expect there to be some people in here tomorrow. And as you can see by this leaderboard, people have definitely been at least playing it through the beta, because look at that, 2,594 kills. So I don't see them as negatives, but some people might want better graphics. That's fine. I'm fine with the graphics. And some people, I don't know how they might feel about the price. I definitely think this game is worth $30, and I think for the plans that they have for this game over the long haul is definitely going to be worth it. So, I mean, when they were in the chat on my podcast, and somebody asked them about the physical version of this game, they had said that if they thought for certain they would have been able to meet their release date, and they would have put that in motion 4 months ago, you would have had a physical release now. But that because of the uncertainty of their release date and stuff like that, we're looking at, they said they're looking at late summer for a physical release of this game. So to use the term, as I said on my podcast, they will probably, they're probably still drying spots off on the car as it's rolling out of the car wash. So, they've already admitted that, they've already said there's going to be a couple of minor fixes over the next 24 hours and stuff like that. So, this is definitely a game where I won't have a problem jumping in and playing it, especially being that that aim controller didn't drift. I guess there's one more test. In my opinion, there's one last test this game has to go through, and that's to see if this aim controller drifts in a room full of live people. If it doesn't drift, that's it, hands down. You know, already see myself playing this game more than Firewall. I'm honest with Firewall. I'm honest that I'd much rather play a slow tactical game. I'll be back tomorrow. Deuces. Thanks for popping in, Nicholas Taylor. Appreciate it. I'm being honest and saying that I prefer a slower tactical game because I like to kind of treat it like a real life situation. But I'll take this game over Firewall every day of the week, being that it runs good and I'm not having any issues with the aim controller. That being said, as far as first-person shooter goes, Alvo has given me a reason to come back to my PlayStation VR, you know, on a regular basis. So, I would say good job to the devs. That being said, as much as I'd like to stay up and continue playing, I need to get to bed. And truth be told, I'm not in that big a hurry to move this over to my PS5 because it runs good enough here. Not to mention that I can still stream to YouTube on my PS4 Pro, whereas the PS5 will not let me stream any PSVR games to YouTube. So there's a pretty good chance I'll just leave my PlayStation VR connected to my PlayStation Pro, so I can continue to stream this game. So I'm pretty good with it. And basically what's probably going to happen is I'm just going to play it on my PS5, play it for a few minutes, and then move it right back to the PS4, and then just give you guys a progress report on if there was any difference in performance between this and the PS5. So that being said, I'm going to get ready to boogie on out of here. I look forward to playing this game tomorrow when I know that there's going to be some live people in here. But for what I played tonight, I'm good with it. Jamal Adams was good. You catching me as I'm giving my closing shots. I'm getting ready to wrap it up. But to sum it up in a nutshell, I like the clarity of this game. There's I'm looking around and there's no blur in the background. You know, this is a 1080p headset, so naturally what I see in the background isn't going to be as sharp as I would see on, say, the Oculus Quest 2, because that headset is near 4K resolution, but it's still clear enough that I can make out everything. There's not that horrible blur that you see on, say, a game like Drive Club. So I'm good with this. Virtually no drift like you would see on Firewall. Everything's clear. The game runs smooth. I'm able to pull this gun right up to my face and still, you know, aim at targets and stuff and take them out with the scopes. So, you know what? Let me see if I got enough to put a scope on here yet. So I need 1,000 coins to unlock some sort of scope or reticle, and I've got 525 coins. So probably tomorrow I'll have enough unlocked that I can put a scope on here. So we'll do that. Yeah, 1,000 for a scope. Yep. So I'll play it some more and put a scope on this tomorrow. But hey, still though, to be able to aim down an iron sights with this, and then the controller not drift and turn the way it would on Firewall, that is the biggest plus right there. That's the biggest plus to me right there. I'm UK. It's tomorrow. So the by the red dot is so much better. Yeah. Okay. All right. No doubt. I'll do that tomorrow. Over in the UK, the game should already be unlocked, because the game unlocks wherever you live at. The game unlocks at midnight, wherever your region is. So being that I'm over on the East Coast of America, and I'm going by Eastern time, and I know that the UK is 5 hours ahead of me. So the game should, yes, I play till 2 a.m. Okay, gotcha. So, I don't know. I mean, I would love so much to call in sick tomorrow and stay home and play this game. But we're already on 4-day weeks. It's now 6 a.m., so I'm back up and ready. Ah, cool. Well, No Man's Planet, I get out of work at 2:30. I'll be home about 3:30 Eastern time, which would be about 8:30 UK time. So I would say at the very latest, let me see, 9 p.m. UK time, which is will be free to add me, bro. I'll be streaming. Okay, keep an eye out for me. So, all right, folks, it is time for me to call it a night. I have no idea what time it is, but I'm good with this, and we'll be back tomorrow. Starting to get a little bit raspy PS in No Man's Planet. Okay, gotcha. All right, that's gonna do it for me, folks. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Good game. Hats off to the developers. You persevered. Have a great one, my dude. Appreciate it. The devs have persevered. They definitely got through the storm and got this game out. So congratulations to the devs over at Alvo VR. And that's going to do it for me. Everybody have a good night. You guys know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king. And deuces. We'll see you tomorrow.